half. FAU 21, FIU 17. Kevin, overall, pretty mixed results from the Panthers on both sides of the ball. But I want to start talking about the defense here because this was a very bipolar performance from the defense here in the first half. They were either stopping drives, making turnovers, or they were giving up long drives to the FAU offense.
Yeah, giving up a lot of explosive plays, especially on the first touchdown drive of the game, right? Gave up the 31-yard reception, then a 38-yard reception, which led to the Camp rush for the touchdown. Definitely tough. Can't let that happen, especially against an offense like Kitley's. Kitley did a great job, especially towards that 2-minute drive, really getting the guys going, getting them moving, and FIU's defense really had to adjust on the fly. But thankfully, Mr. Clark with a huge interception in the red zone. Second interception of the game for the Panthers, 2 interceptions for Velcam. Overall, the offense has been a little slow. Offense has really been able to get the run game going a lot. Could have been a lot better, but
yeah,
glad the way things are looking like right now. 21-17, close Shula Bowl, can't complain. But really have to come out of the gates in the second half and really get things going offensively. They want to keep up with FAU.
FIU's offense, yeah, definitely has looked very weird. I think the weirdest part of this game so far was when they got to the red zone on the drive in which they settled for that field goal. Every single play in the red zone, run. Owls were not fooled. There is definitely something wrong with this FIU passing game that is stopping them from actually going in there and scoring with the passing touchdown. Keyshawn Owens has put in the work. There's no doubt about it, but I'm definitely there is something that needs to be fixed, hopefully adjusted in this locker room with the passing game specifically.
Yeah, it's tough to really find a pinpoint like what is that there. That pass game. You got to think like FAU's defense has really done a good job to stop it. The FAU's defensive players done a really good job to stop the pass game, but if FIU continues to run the ball and if they're running the ball, like that he didn't run a lot during the Penn State game for some reason. But now we're seeing him during this one really take some shots down the field himself and run, and we're seeing him take a lot of shots down the field in general, right?
Yeah,
I like that. I like the aggressiveness. We saw it in that final drive before they gave up the ball with the punt in the second quarter. Sorry. So, overall, just really need to get the passing game going because if you're not, then you're going to be here for a long night. And Zach Hilli's offense is really going to go out of the gates. And Belcamp's already going to take some shots and making things happen. And you can't let that happen. You got to stay on the field as long as you can. But you need the passing game to open up. And you would think with the run game how fine it's been, it would open up a little bit, right? But it just hasn't been the case.
I know that we're coming off a nasty rain delay and that the conditions are not great here at Pitbull Stadium, but the amount of mistakes that both teams have made thus far this game is very surprising, but definitely between both teams, FIU is one that really needs to clean up their game a little more because just for that fourth down stop for the FIU defense to make and then immediately give the ball right back to them off a botched snap. That's just been a major problem this game is the snapping from the center to Kiwan. It's been really bad this game and very disappointing to see. You need all hands on deck for a rivalry game like this. So to make a mistake that massive with that big an opportunity is really, really bad.
Can't let that happen, right? I mean, we saw the Q1 snap. We saw it. I think a field goal or something like that, or an extra point attempt.
The field goal.
Yeah, and bad punt snap too. So tough on that end, and you hate to see it, right? So Julius Pierce really needs to sharpen up and get it going. If not, they're gonna have to make a change at center, but in the second half.
So all things considered, running game has looked good. I mean, Keyshawn Owens. I feel like we're both kind of fools for not picking him to be our offensive player of the year. If we could backtrack and make that change. Keyshawn Owens has been nothing short of spectacular. This whole running game, for the most part. And we talked a bit about the passing game, but just looking at the list of receivers, I mean, McGuire, Anderson, leading home receivers for FIU. I did not expect that coming into this game.
They've been using him quite a bit. We saw him in the Penn State game being used, even in the players. So they like him. They think he's a good option, a good speedster with the sweep. I think another play that fans did kind of a little confused. This is just the first play of the game on offense.
Yes.
Right? Christian Langford in as a wide receiver makes the sweep on the side there, and it worked out. So crazy stuff there on that end. But yeah, McGuire Anderson, good for him. BYU transfers, doing a good job this year. And, he right now leads the team to receiving yards.
All things considered here, what's the FIU's going to get the offense to start the second half? What's the one thing you really want to see them make sure they do this upcoming drive to get that lead back?
I want to see them score a touchdown.
Well, yes, but how do you want him to go about doing it? A long, grueling drive that takes a lot of time off the clock, or do you want to see Q1 light it up in the air?
I think that's what you want to see, right? You haven't seen Q1 do that this year whatsoever.
Looking a bit here at FAU, Veltkamp has looked good, but not amazing. 2 touchdowns, but 2 picks as well, 218 yards. I haven't been super impressed by Veltkamp, but he has been able to cook FIU's defense a few times in the secondary.
FIU's been able to get them, right? So, yeah, he's been good. So, let's see if that continues.
Alrighty, any final thoughts before we wrap up here, Kev? That's a pretty good thought. Now go get some food. I know you're starving, Kev. All right, your score at halftime, Florida Atlantic 21, FIU 17. This is obviously a must-win for both programs, and it's an even game, no doubt about it. So we'll see what happens here coming out of half. FIU will get the ball to start off the third quarter. We'll see what happens here, fellas. Pause up.